Hey everybody. I think I said too early. Damn it. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of World of Horror. I'm just gonna do some more normal Harbinger of Doom runs. I think we probably still have like 4 to 6 mysteries in the Haspin's Pocket Mysteries pack that we haven't seen yet. Not quite sure. We've played a lot of it, but we've gotten a lot of repeats. So yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys in the game. It's a little bit... I don't dislike this. City of Shiokawa, Japan, 1980X. Something strange is happening in our town. Hello, Black Monodoom. How you doing? Robed figures can be seen gathering in the woods at night. People are going missing. Disgusting creatures are terrorizing the seaside. The rapid technological progress of the modern era brings comfort, but also new unknown threats. Old gods, malicious eldritch beings who ruled the earth eons ago, are awakening as reality starts to crumble. Armed with clues, spells, and a dwindling sanity, you'll investigate mysteries across the city and in realms beyond. An old train slows down and stops at its last station. The end of the world's at hand, and you finally arrived in the doomed town. What are you making for dinner? I'm gonna continue with the Hunted by the Cult background, I think. Just so that I can maybe see the third enemy at some point. The old god. Thinking... could do Cthulhu. It's been a little while. So you've got Gun Girl. She's a pretty strong, well-rounded character. Decent stats, good starting weapon, perks that synergize with the weapon. All in all, very nice. The shops matter a lot less with her because she already has a weapon. That's like the primary thing they shop for. I guess I could do a normal shop, maybe? Maybe we do the vending machine just in case we get super lucky with the cashola. I think the illegal den is probably also worth. They're making lemon pepper pork. Sounds neat. The water bottle. The XP boost. Do the Mori K, I think. So we've got the spiral seashells, salt shrine, marital madness. That's a new one for us. And that's the only new one we're gonna see this run. Okay. I guess I'll start with the... I don't know, why not the Tranquilizing Tale, the Twilight TV Terror? Or we could do the Fear Festival. If we're gonna do the Fear Festival, I want to do the seashells first. Just so I can get the police station access in case, I don't know, the forest is at max threat level. It's a good habit to have, I think. Startling secret of the spiral seashells. And according to eyewitness testimony, the crazed assailant was holding a spiral seashell in their other hand. This gruesome stabbing attack is yet another violent act that took place recently in Shiokawa. Local marine biologists believe that some sort of chemical compound released by the decaying plankton might be responsible. You turn off the radio and begin to think about this story. Could there really be a connection between the seashells and the recent acts of violence amongst the Shiokawans? First of all, you ought to have a look at these seashells yourself. If the story is true, they should be aplenty at the local beach. Nothing stops you from picking up a few for a closer look. So the forest is at minimum threat level. Threat level. My brain's melting. Good to know. So I'll get the police patrols in the seaside. Moriko's special item is a ammo piece, which we don't really need right now. Vivid images of you stabbing a child with a broken bottle flood your mind. In the corner of your eye, you spot a woman with the child walking by, and nearby, a bottle half buried in the sand. You drop the shell into the trash can and run away, the images inside your head slowly disappearing. Return home just in time to see some policemen establishing a crime scene in front of your apartment block. Did something happen? While looking around the ransacked room of your recently deceased friend, you discover a half-finished painting of a woman, her skin a ghastly pale yellow color. -2 reason, R.I.P. Get a police patrol downtown. Stabbed her boyfriend 7 times because the seashell told her so. She was such a calm, quiet girl, though. This is getting out of hand. Surely someone other than the police is investigating these violent acts. You ought to ask some people around. Alarmed by the sound of glass breaking, you discover the corpse of a policeman lying in a pool of blood. Oh, if we steal his gun, we would get like 3 ammo, I think, or some shit. That would be pretty awesome. We could just shotgun every enemy. It's going to cost us even more reason, but I think I will do it. +3 ammo. I think the revolver is probably shittier than our weapon. We did indeed steal. So 485.80 versus 380.80. Yeah. We learned that someone at the local high school is very interested in these cases, a professor or some such. If you're lucky, you should be able to find her there. Okay, definitely going to leave it for later to lose stamina, because we're so weak on reason. The woman you're looking for is a retired history teacher. She's a native of Shiokawa who apparently warned the locals about the seashells, but nobody would listen. You have to ask her about this weird case. If only you could find her address. Got Young Witch. Actually, can we kill her? Hello, Elianli. It'd be 2 75% chances. I think we're close to the end of the mystery. I'm just gonna get the ring ears. You obtain the elderly historian's address from one of the teachers. As it turns out, she still lives in Shiokawa, just a few blocks away from the city center. You knock on the door and a raspy voice tells you to enter. Surrounded by old encyclopedias, outdated atlases, the elderly historian is sipping her tea, eyeing you quizzically. The seashells, the repeating cycle of the awakening. The old woman then launches a lengthy tirade about sunken cities, sleeping squids, and dying stars, all according to patterns observed by the astronomers of old. I tried to warn them, but they didn't listen. They never listen. The old lady rocks in her chair back and forth. Thank you for the reminder, Black Moon of Doom. A repeating cycle. The awakening. You rush towards the seaside, thinking that this must not be allowed to happen. The seashells must be destroyed before the cycle ends. I'll hold vigil from now on, huh? Oh no, please don't lose more reason. You notice an island that wasn't there before, and when you look towards it, you see people with animal heads. There's also a person who looks human and looks out of place. They're holding an axe and staring directly at you. Oh, thank goodness. The person waves towards you and smiles. They gather the strange animal people and they all hold hands and dance. They wave at you again and proceed to go about their business. How weird, but at least they're friendly. The beach is devoid of people, but near the water's edge you notice some shiny white lumps buried in the wet sand. You gasp in horror when you approach the shells. They have eyes on them. Human eyes, and they're all staring at you and blinking, perhaps wondering what you are going to do. Even now you can feel their alien stares drilling into your mind, placing suggestions of violence and gore into it. Unable to tolerate this anymore, you lift your foot and crush the nearby seashells under your boots, and then another and another and another. You crush the eye shells one by one. Squishy noises echo in your ears with each seashell you crush, the wet squish of crushed eyes. With the seashells destroyed, the violence diminishes, and relative peace returns to Shiokawa. You'd like to think it to be the end of the story, and then you hear news reports about spiral seashells washing up on the shores of a nearby town. Fetid fumes. That's pretty terrible considering our reason is so trashed. But whatever, we can just take a reason bath hola. We're actually maxed on stamina, so the water bottle is proving not useful. Go for the Fear Festival next. Far out fable of a fear festival. Your aunt had sent you a letter inviting you for a curious sounding festival. It's held every 27 years in a small village. You don't like the sound of it, but your parents both agree you need a break from all the stress. Inside the letter, there's a bus ticket. What's the worst thing that could happen? You ask yourself as you board the bus. I am from America, near the West Coast. Just when you thought your stomach couldn't handle it anymore, the janky old bus stops at its destination. You get up and take a deep breath before looking around. It's a small village, and the nearby fields are surrounded by a thick forest. A fat man wearing dusty overalls approaches you. It's the inn owner who promised to pick you up. Following close behind him, your eyes are drawn to his hands, which are so deformed they resemble claws more than hands. I think I'll explore the village. Definitely gonna ignore the ducks. Can we get some allies? Could not find any familiar faces. The Midwest. Okay. I know someone from around there. Oh, hell yes. Hiroyuki Mizutani. He needs to move some stuff. He's gonna give me +1 stamina per mystery. But we have such a stamina surplus. We can get +4 from him, but on top of that, it'll allow us to use our water bottle. So that's absolutely valuable. What a good trade. A weird sound wakes you up. You step closer to the window and look out. You can't see anything and get ready to go back to bed when suddenly the moon comes out from behind the thick clouds. 3 hooded figures are standing at the forest's hedge. One by one, they light their torches and disappear behind the trees. What was that about? They all wore strange masks. Should you follow them into the forest or try to find more information about the festival? It's incredibly humid in the parts I am. My head is not appreciating the weather. Cool. I live in a very dry region, personally, but it's been raining recently, so... It's humid. Here as well. trees overhead, -2 reason. +2% doom. Going back to the inn, you overhear 2 masked villagers. They're talking about something awakening up at the next dawn. You wonder what's up with that. You decide to block the entrance to your room with a nightstand. The festival's ending tomorrow, and you can't be too careful. The villagers seem to follow your every step. Ooh, knowledge check success. Bark Woman has more than 15 HP, so we need to soften her up first. 1 hit should do it, but we won't be able to brace or anything. What's her chance to hit? 60? We just gotta tank the damage. It is what it is. She smacks us with a root. I shoot her with the shotgun. Easy peasy. Why is it so quiet all of a sudden? Is that blood? Where is everyone? I think Bark Ladies are second at me. Oh, Annalise made the reminder. Thank you very much. The trail of blood and sickly smelling sludge leads to an outskirt of the village. Somewhere in the dark forest, there's an answer waiting for you. An abandoned factory. That must be the place they took everyone. I do not know many languages. I learned a little bit of Spanish when I was younger, and also when I was on car trips to Old Sign Job. I would learn it because I was carpooling. Never learned German. I know someone who's from Switzerland who speaks German. Though. While exploring the factory, you're caught by masked people you've seen from the inn's window. Tied up, they bring you to the cult leader. We knew you'd come. You hear a raspy voice, your aunt's voice, coming from the priest's weird mask. She signals towards the door behind him. Our master's waiting for a final blood sacrifice. With a loud bang, the ancient horror disappears. The high priest falls to the floor, grabbing their shoulder. Last thing you see before blacking out are the beams of flashlights and the hand of a police officer saving you from your fall. Later that day, detectives interrogating you are confused when you tell them about the ritual, blood, and eldritch being. The village is abandoned, with no trace of blood anywhere. You are the only one seeing the ancient horror. Looks like you got pretty good at English in the meantime, since your school. Yanley. While I couldn't catch the leader of the cult to interrogate them, the people are safe. You board the old bus, wondering what would have happened if you didn't stop the ritual in time. I don't think I would have known you were German unless you stated it. Arcane Storm is not that bad, all things considered. Deft handling is actually so amazing. I'll get a little more perception. You know, while I'm here, I'm going to take a look at the lighthouse. With the pocket mysteries, you do end up getting less XP. So I do think we will have a limited amount of ability to deal with, to like level up our stats to compensate for the lighthouse stuff. But still, we've got knowledge, dex, second mystery, ear slurpy slurp, strength plugs, second enemy. So -9 stamina, -3 reason. Okay. Well, it's a good thing we have a water bottle. Keep ourselves topped off. And Hiroyuki can help us as well. You hear a lot of mocking things. Why do people do that? I think I'll do the new mystery now as the third mystery. Morbid mystery of a marital madness. Hey kid, did you hear the news? One of your elderly neighbors greets you at the entrance to your apartment block. Mr. Moriyama's gonna marry again. And it's that waitress girl from the restaurant down the street. I can't believe he had the guts to ask her out. And that she would agree too. Oh, it's female. She chuckles mischievously. Aren't they almost 15 years apart? But hey, good for him. Might get him out of the dumps, you know. You have to agree. For once, something is going well in this cursed town. Or is it? It's been a year since Mr. Moriyama's first wife died in a car accident. You can't help but feel happy knowing that he was able to move on. You should pay him a visit to congratulate him. Definitely gonna just give in so that we don't get the insomnia. You find that his apartment is locked, and then you remember that in the mornings he's working at his shop. It's located at the docks, where Mr. Moriyama sells fishing nets and spare boat parts to the local fishermen. It's unfortunate. People... I mean... I get why people make fun of like spelling mistakes and stuff. It's like fun to do, but it's kind of sucky sometimes. Especially if like multiple people do it, I could understand that being a negative experience. When you enter Mr. Moriyama's shop, he's happy to see you and greets you warmly. When you congratulate him on the upcoming marriage, he suddenly goes silent and turns away from you. Is there something wrong, Mr. Moriyama? You try to get an answer out of him, but he changes the subject and fidgets nervously. After some time, he asks you to visit him at the local cemetery in a few hours. Very strange. Why was he so secretive all of a sudden? You decide to find out what's happening. About 1 hour later, you decide it's time to meet your neighbor. The cemetery is located downtown. It is what it is. People tend to just like overdo things in general. Oh, the text box a little bit. No, it's fine. When you enter the cemetery, it is eerily empty. You spend a few minutes walking between the graves before you spot Mr. Moriyama standing before his wife's grave. Your neighbor is clearly startled by your presence. Ah, why are you here so soon? I still have things to do. That's when you realize someone is standing behind him. You open your mouth in utter shock and disbelief when a rotting corpse steps from behind Mr. Moriyama, clutching onto his arm. Your neighbor doesn't seem disturbed by her presence at all. When you ask Mr. Moriyama if that's Fuyoko, his dead wife, he stumbles over his words, trying to come up with an explanation. The ghastly woman exhales in your direction, and suddenly the air around you becomes numbingly chilly. Shaking from the extreme cold, you leave the cemetery. Rubbing your arms to warm yourself up, you hastily return home. Was that ghastly woman truly Fuyoko Moriyama? How is that possible? You realize that, despite her living in the same apartment block as you for years, you know very little about her. Maybe some of the other neighbors knew her better? That's a rough one. I thought the mystery was going to be that, this dude, like, hypnotized someone who was young. Didn't realize it was going to be a dead wife. What the fuck? Like a ghost, I mean. Okay, we have a super fast speed now with our combat. We still cannot brace though. I mean, if we could brace in light attack. Get a guaranteed 4 damage. The alternative would be we try for 3 swings. If we hit him, then we kill it next turn. We don't have to waste a bullet. Easy peasy. They met at their special place, the cemetery. Yeah. Wonder if that's the only place he sees her. Kinda makes sense. One of your neighbors mentions talking with Mr. Moriyama about his dead wife over a couple drinks a few weeks ago. He said that she lived in the same village as he before they moved to Shiokawa together. The neighbor then points you to Mr. Moriyama's hometown. Fortunately, it's not very far from Shiokawa. You arrive at the village where Mr. Moriyama grew up. There's about 24 households. You can be sure everyone knows everyone around here and their pasts. Finding information will be easy, right? Luck check success. You spend a while asking questions. Nah, Kunio's wife can't be from here, kid, one of the older villagers says. Back in the day, he made trips to Mount Fuji, and that one time he came back with this pale girl in tow, saying that he's going to marry her. So she ain't from here, that I know for sure. Was she always dead? Riding the bus back to Shiokawa, you grimace. Why would Mr. Moriyama lie about where he met his wife? Is there something else he's hiding from you? You won't know until you ask him. Maybe she's a vampire. His father Isugi lift the heaviest box, thanks for the stamina. And by stamina, I'm reason. You find the door to Mr. Moriyama's apartment locked. He's not home. You decide to go to the city cemetery. You have a strange feeling that your neighbor is visiting his dead wife again. Oh, maybe it's the snowman myth, the Yuki-onna? Makes sense. You beeline towards Fuyoko's grave, and sure enough, you find Mr. Moriyama huddled behind her grave. He's mumbling something to himself, clearly afraid of something. Wait, why is he getting colder? You tremble when a gust of cold wind suddenly hits you from behind, and see Fuyoko slowly approaching you. Till death do us part. Oh, she's a ghost. Fuck. She's so strong, too. Okay, I can do 8 damage. She's doing 3 stamina damage. That's so fucked. I could try the clap bow combo. I do have a bottle of water. Oh no, we have 8 stamina, so we do 8 damage. She goes down to 19. We do 8 again, she goes down to 11. I think we go down to 2. Are we just dead? That's not good. We could try the clap bow thing, but I don't think that's very reliable. Could meditate? No, we could pray a bunch. That would instantly kill us. We could do this. Yeah, I think we have to do this. It sucks, but you know. Can't stop shaking from the cold. Try to sever the ghost ties to the world. We have trouble breathing. Alright, we win. The dastardly ass ghost. You watch as the ghost of Miss Moriyama crumbles into a heap of snow. Thank you, child, Mr. Moriyama says with a heavy voice, emerging from behind the gravestone. She was a Yuki-onna, Back in the day, I was an avid mountaineer. I met her during one of my trips to Mount Fuji. We clicked instantly, or so I thought. Then, or so I thought back then. And a few weeks later, she agreed to become my wife. After a few months, I realized her true identity. I was terrified. I thought she would steal my life force and kill me, but she cared about me and my well-being. I think she was truly in love with me, and I was happy, even if being near her gave me shivers. He looks down at the ground, but the snow has already melted. Nothing remains of Fuyoko Moriyama's body. When the car struck her and she died, I didn't know what to feel. Relief at being freed from her chilling presence. Sad that my beloved is gone, even if she was an evil spirit. He shakes his head. When I met my current fiancée and she agreed to marry me, I visited Fuyoko's grave to tell her the news, and suddenly she appeared before me once more. I think she didn't want me to have another woman, even after her death. There's a long pause before Mr. Moriyama speaks again. Well, it's over, I guess. Fuyoko has been put to rest, and I can finally marry the girl I love. Thanks again, kid. Your neighbor looks at his dead wife's grave for the last time before walking away. A few days later, you're invited to Mr. Moriyama's wedding. It's a small but joyous ceremony. Perhaps with it, your neighbor can begin his life anew. That was a cool mystery. I like that. Or Selkie? I don't think so. Selkies usually have, outside the sea part, more of the wife being imprisoned by the man than the other way around. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Are we gonna have enough bullets? I feel like even more stamina could be cool. But I almost feel like it's unnecessary because we're gonna get 2 back. More stamina, more good. I guess I'll level up my knowledge. Try to get enough for the knowledge rods. You have 2 mysteries remaining. I think we've done the orphan one a ton. I think I'll do the salt shrine. Surprising story of a succulent salt shrine. Workers were digging out a tunnel to expand the railway network around Shiokawa and have made a startling discovery. Inside a cave, they found an old shrine built out of rock salt and human bones. The police and the local authorities have asked citizens to leave the shrine alone. But everyone is hoping to take a glance at the mysterious temple, or perhaps acquire a souvenir or two. For you, the emergence of the shrine in these strange times is all but coincidental. There are questions you have, and perhaps you can find some answers inside the shrine of salt and bones. It's very nice. -1 reason. We are getting super trash stat-wise. We could rest, but we do have fetid fumes. I think we have to rest, unfortunately. If we're going to rest once, we might as well rest twice. Perhaps even more. So pick the lock is probably Dex. Break the chain is probably Strength. Look around, it's got to be Perception. You look around, and after some time, you find a rather large hole in the fence. You briefly wonder if someone has already snuck in to the shrine before you. When you're ready to investigate the shrine, you'll have an easy way in. Okay, so it's just get Doom, but auto success. Okay, that's not that bad. There's a rider. Just doing 4 all damage, which is a absolute shit ton. We could hit her once normally. We could pump 2 shells into her. I think that'd be pretty good, actually. What are the odds we're gonna fight another enemy? This is a really tough enemy. Yep, get fucked. Double tap. Fantastic. Got prescription. Muku is most certainly dead. You're told that a family of famous salt sculptors lived in Shiokawa 100 years ago, but they moved to a nearby village for unknown reasons. Fortunately, there's a bus line that stops by the village. Hopefully the sculptor's descendants still live there. Do you serve the old ones? Yes, Giga Chad. We knew it! The prophecies were true! The masked figures relax a bit, taking off their masks. We apologize for this, Master. So you got the Missing Hiker, which is plus 5% Doom, plus 1 extra damage. Which is a pretty good ally. And Masafumi, who does not do anything. Fantastic. Yeah, he's moral sport. Definitely I'll take the stamina loss because we have so much stamina regen. You find the decrepit house of the sculptor's descendant and a skeleton covered in cobwebs and rotten clothes. You return to Shiokawa the first chance you get. Storm clouds arrive from across the sea. The rain begins to fall as you walk towards the construction site. He does not do anything, actually. At least to my knowledge, he increases your damage against ghosts, but only if you attack the ghost normally. Fairly certain he does not increase severing damage. Which is why he's so booty. Using the side entrance you found earlier, you get inside the construction site. You wonder what exactly you'll find in the Shrine of Salt and Bones. I mean, I could be wrong, they could have changed it. But that's what I know. Let's see. So enter the shrine is a knowledge check. I don't know what investigate the stalagmites is, because the look around the cave has got to be a perception check. Failure. In the back of the cave you find several shallow pits filled with human skeletons and desiccated squid corpses. You shudder in fear, feeling their unmoving stares upon your body. A loud rumble interrupts your investigation in the cave and the salt shrine. While wondering where the noise is coming from, you are too late to notice the cracks in the salt-encrusted cave walls. Part of the cave wall comes crashing down onto the shrine, and seawater starts rushing in. You're knocked off your feet by the sudden deluge. The opulent shrine, built out of salt and bones, is smashed apart by the waves. You wrap your hands around a large stalagmite to avoid being swept by the current. A curious whistling sound makes you turn around. It takes you a while to process what you're looking at. A pale white squid with dozens of tentacles thrashing about in the water. The alien being nimbly navigates a strong current and escapes quickly into the sea. The whistling sound is soon replaced by the rumble of rushing seawater. As you slowly pull yourself up towards the exit from the cave, escaping the sudden flood. Drenched but alive, you make your way home, heavy rain washing the salt from your skin and clothes. The next day, the local media reports on the destruction of the shrine and the indefinite postponement of the railway expansion. You, on the other hand, are troubled by some dark thoughts. Did you release an ancient sleeping monster into the sea? Or was the shrine destined to be destroyed and you were just a spectator? Fantastic. Got Long Lighthouse, which is no big deal. Don't need the ammo stash. I think quick thinking is pretty good. I'll continue to level my knowledge. We need to take the Bathola. Get a little extra reason. For our last mystery, I could do the Masked Murderer since we have a pretty good combat ability. I think that makes sense to me. Malicious machinations of a masked murderer. You hand the elderly Miss OOO the package and, after a cup of tea, bid her farewell. You're about to head to the bus stop and get back to Shiokawa when a sudden yell stops you in your tracks. Guys, guys! A young man runs towards others around his age. They've found Kinta, he's dead! The whole group quickly runs to the center of the village. Did someone get murdered in broad daylight? The murder occurred near the village center. You should take a look. What's the worst thing that could happen? Oh no, there's there's a bunch of mass murderers here. It's doing 3 stamina damage. We could probably get... No, we could get 1 good swing if we dodge. Alternatively, we could get 4 attacks for 20. I'll take the 3 stamina loss. Stabs you with the dagger. Did he do all damage? Felt like my reason numbered jiggle 2. Maybe, maybe not. From the snippets of conversations between the villagers, you learn that a person wearing a horned mask was seen fleeing the crime scene, and that the name of the victim is Kinta Kurokawa. His family lives in a mansion just a few minutes away from the village, across the nearby forest. I caught the culprit. What are you guys talking about? Attack dog? Yes! That's so good! Past midnight, you wake up sweating. The door to your bedroom is open, but you can't hear anyone out there. Fuck, I forget. I remember close the door giving us a bad result, but I think I'm gonna do it anyways. I think it was a perception check. No, it's just -2 stamina. That's actually perfect, probably. The next morning, you're treated to a simple breakfast. Natsuko and Lady Akari don't mind your questions, but aren't very forthcoming with the answers to them. Okay, thank you for checking, Aoyama. At least they don't mind you roaming around the place, and Natsuko even offers to take you on a tour around the mansion. And this is my late father's study, Natsuko says, finishing the tour of the mansion. If you want, feel free to peruse the books here. Just don't mind the dust. Mother hasn't cleaned this place since the funeral. The very first thing you notice is the large collection of books, all covered in a thick layer of old dust. Knowledge check success. You know what to look for. Very quickly you find a book about demon masks, which prescribes banishing the evil spirits by snapping the mask vertically in 2. A diary. It's full of strange pictograms and old rituals, but there's no author's name anywhere. You excuse yourself from the offer to partake in lunch and head to the village. Villagers gossip between themselves about the most recent murder, but when an outsider like you starts asking questions, they suddenly go quiet. This might take a while. Definitely gonna sit in the chair, -1 reason, RIP. Finally, an elderly farmer spills some beans. That family had it all. Until the death of old Kosuke a few months ago. First the fire destroyed their prized collection of no masks. Then young Kinta's fiancé got killed and now he... You decide to head back to the Kurokawa family mansion and ask Lady Akari a few more questions. We might lose the boss, hopefully not. Returning to the mansion, you can't help but notice how eerily silent it is. Making your way to the largest room, you find it shrouded in darkness. What's that? It's Natsuko. Someone stabbed her dozens of times. Wait, are those footsteps you're hearing? Red is good. Blood is good. I need more. You barely dodge the swing of a kitchen knife wielded by a relatively small person wearing a demon's mask. I want more red. Give it to me. She's doing 5 stamina damage. She has 21 HP. 6 plus 17 is 23. So, boom. Shoot her in the chest. When you approach the masked assailant's body, they suddenly spring back to life. Letting out a terrible shriek, they run deeper into the mansion. You can't let them escape. Guess I'll grab the steak knife. Corpses, marionettes. Not good. It looks as if the murderer disappeared, but then you notice that the doors leading to Lord Kosuke's memorial chamber are slightly open. The murderer's body lies on the floor, face up. You approach it and take the mask off to see their face. It's Lady Akari. Hello. You scream in surprise when the horn mask suddenly speaks to you, its mouth twisting up in a wicked grin. Do not be afraid. I'm your friend. I can give you power, great power. The mask's voice turns into a whisper. Just put me on your face. Put me on, put me on. You almost fall under its influence, but in the last moment you snap out of it and look at the mask defiantly. Put me on, I command thee, it yells, but you're deaf to its demands. Remembering what you've learned about evil masks, you snap it in half. It lets out a terrible shriek as warm blood starts pouring from its eye sockets and split mouth. A few moments later, you start hearing police sirens slowly getting closer to the mansion. You decide to run away as fast as you can. Avoiding the villagers and the police, you make your way to the bus station and return to Shiokawa. The next time an elderly neighbor asks you to deliver a package, you ought to find some sort of excuse to refuse. Got Freaky Flood, which is no big deal. I mean, I think it does affect the lighthouse, maybe. We'll have to see if we get drenched. We have enough reason, but we also have enough stamina, so I'm going to get extra reason. Why not? We're at maximum stamina, which is absolutely fantastic. So knowledge rods. Unfortunately, we didn't get our knowledge up fast enough. Dex, that's 6 stamina loss. Second mystery, easy peasy. Ear slorpy slorp, we're down to reason. Strength plug, it's 9 stamina, so we'd be down to 4 stamina. Then second enemy. But we're at 54% doom. I could literally answer randomly and we would still be fine. We're not going to get Takashi. So I guess... I mean, I'll just burn the occult diary. Have the handcuffs anyways. No big deal. Shocker cells. Cut our arms up. The second mystery was the festival. Pretty sure. I mean, I'll look for the reminder. Because why not? Second enemy Barkwoman. Yep, it was the festival. As I thought. Plus 10 XP. Wonder why the music stopped playing. Nope, there we go. Strength plug. Amazing. I guess I'll get Outdoorsman and level my knowledge. Just to round off the level. Second enemy is Barkwoman. Thank you for the reminder, El Yanli. The dark clouds swirl around the lighthouse. Did you arrive too late? Get that statue out of here. As the unnatural fog slowly lifts, you're relieved and collapse on the floor. The next day, everything feels like a bad dream. You manage to stop the ritual awakening of the Eldritch Old God, but what's done is done. It will stir in its slumber again and again until the stars are right again. Very cool. I like that. I like the mysteries that showed up. Pretty much. Be hard to get less doom than that. Ooh, that's a little bit eye-piercing, but whatever. I'll go for the bright. I think I'll go for random character, random backstory this time. So we got Athulashith, and Ayaka, and Knight Errant. Knight Errant's not too bad with the Haspin Mysteries. So Strength, Charisma, Knowledge, Second Enemy, Dex, Ear Slurp, Slurp. Cool. Very neat. She's got knowledge and dexterity as her like primary stats. So we could go for a knowledge weapon. I think the weapon matters a lot less with Ayaka. We got another empty bottle, so I can fill it with water. Go for the sweater again. Let's see, do we have any new mysteries? We do not. Mayhaps we'll do a mostly normal run then. Could be good. Nice, like, change of pace. It's either that or we, like, back out and re-roll the mysteries. I think we could do a normal run. I want to start with the eels because it's just like the best mystery. Eerie episode of Evolving Eels. While returning to your home, someone suddenly bumps into you. Did you know? You turn around, it's your friend living in the same apartment complex, Scanna. That weird dude is back. You know, the one who studies fish? You shrug, opening the door. Scanna follows and immediately enters the kitchen. A while later, she returns with 2 cans of soda. Aren't you curious? What weird fish did he bring this time? Definitely, I think we want to get the money from the Witch's Tree. Because if we get a bad curse, we can always just get rid of it. So, dual suicidal. I do think that might be worth getting rid of, actually, because in the most recent patch, they changed the math and made suicidal and paranoia stack, pretty sure. So it goes from like 20% to 50% to 100% if you get it a third time. Which is not the greatest. Yeah, I guess I'll try to shop for could go for the pharmacy, do a bone saw build. Bone saw is ready. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, either way makes sense. It might be worth going to the history club and getting a perk. Because she is so... Wait, this costs 15% Doom? How much Doom does Doom Effigy lower? Does anyone know? Let's see, I mean, if it lowers 3% Doom, then that's worth. I think I'll do it. Why not? It'll make our level ups a little bit better because we can't get Doom Effigy, so the pool is smaller. Okay, got Broken Jaw to go with our curse signs. Not the greatest. Can maybe get that fixed up in the hospital. But we have no spells, so it's not urgent right now. Applied, it completing mystery lowers Doom by an extra 0.5% per curse the player has, rounding down. Okay, so we'd get minus 1% Doom in this mystery. But we, in theory, Oh, I guess -2. Guess we'll have -2% Doom. And the next mystery will have -3, and the next mystery -4% Doom. Okay. Keep up the World 4 walkthroughs. Thank God it's Friday tomorrow. Yeah, thanks, Sean. Bizzelli. I think I'll take the cold bath because we have a stamina surplus. I'm not sure if the Doom effigy is actually worth. Just thinking about it. I mean, 2, 3, 4. 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9. Let's say 4 again to make the math. That's 13, and then 17 or 18. Yeah, never mind. That adds up. I think it actually was worth. We're getting a little bit roasted stat-wise, but it is what it is. Don't necessarily want to rest because we'd quickly bump into stamina surplus situation. I mean, maybe... okay, we rest once, then we visit the monument and hope we get funds or stamina. There we go. That was pretty nice. I think resisting is just minus stamina. But entering, what would we get? We could trade stamina for reason. Alternatively, we could have a very low % chance to get a super duper awesome weapon. And that's about it. Or maybe like a minor item. I think I'll resist. Kana has been missing since yesterday. You decide to check out the neighbor's apartment yourself. There's eels everywhere. Give me the eyeball. Fantastic. Shocked, you see countless tiny eels crawling out of your friend's eye in all directions. Will Kana even survive the blood loss? You rush to the hospital with Kana, getting a lot of attention from horrified people. Your friend is taken immediately to the operating theater, and you collapse on a chair in the waiting area. Wake up, dude. You've been sleeping for over 3 hours. You groggily open your eyes to see your friend Kana is wearing an eye patch. Not so pretty anymore, eh? I couldn't exactly tell the doctors the truth about what happened, and I'm pretty sure I won't be winking with my left eye anytime soon, but thank you for saving my life. You're still processing the events the previous night. Corpse-eating eels that lay their eggs in eyes. Sitting with your friend Kana before your apartment building, you watch the police officers emptying out your neighbor's place. Got contaminated water. That's pretty rough to start off with. That's no more water bottles for us. Guess I'll drink the water now just so that I remember that I have it. I think I'll do the fetus mystery next. Let's see, so for our versus, got second suicidal again. And traumatized? No, hallucinations. Fatal fiction of a fiendish fetus. Oh my god, Amy, did you hear? About something at the hospital making lunch out of the nurses? No way, that's creepy. Is it some sort of wild animal? Bewildered, you turn towards the 2 teenage girls gossiping nearby. No, you see, I heard it was a child. Child? Yeah, like a newborn. Its mom died in childbirth and now it's eating nurses. And like, revenge, I guess. I heard 2 nurses already got killed. And they say the police found them with their throats torn out. That's horrible. Please stop. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. The whole thing sounds like some sort of cheap horror movie script. Before you investigate this incident, though, you should ask the girls some questions first. Father Yasugi, you're a champion. Thank you very much. You feel a bout of nausea coming when the teenager repeats the story to you with all the gory details. Apparently, a child was born a few days ago at the local hospital, killing its mother in the process. A series of strange events have then begun, culminating in the death of 2 nurses. They were bitten by something and their blood was drained. Exploring the many hallways of the labyrinthine hospital, you get ants plus 10 XP. Very good. Asking around the place, you learn that the room where the newborn is kept under observation is on the 4th floor. The 4th floor? Did you hear that right? There is no 4th floor on the elevator's control panel. You'll have to use the stairs. Boom. Got Dead Priest. I think he's undead, so we actually... Wait, it says it's not doing extra damage. What the hell? Okay, so we can get 1 big swing for 7 damage on the duder. He has 16 HP. So I guess we'll have to take a risk next turn. Maybe not worth the gamble, but I'm going for it. If we hit one of them, we kill it next turn. Excellent. You reach the 4th floor, only to find the door leading to the newborn's room is locked. You spot a small office nearby. Maybe the nurse inside can be persuaded to unlock the door. You freeze. There's a fresh corpse of a nurse slumped against the wall. What did I do last time? I think I checked the corpse and I got a little extra XP for it. Minus reason. Yep. That is correct. That is exactly what happened last time. We didn't get the extra damage, but I think the possession is good enough where not re-rolling is fine. I'll get a little extra knowledge to go with the bone saw. There we go. Got like +2 to all stats or something. You run downstairs and alert the personnel about what has happened. After the police arrive, the chief investigator asks you to come to the police station within an hour. Don't worry, we just need to ask you a few questions about this mess. Somehow they don't even consider you a suspect in this gruesome murder. I think I'm gonna rest as well a couple times, just because our reason is so low. We're getting really doom screwed today. Detective Tanaka will be with you shortly. The young policeman takes you to an awaiting area. Please wait here, alright? Perception check failure. You wait for several minutes before the detective arrives. He questions you for about half an hour, and it feels like a complete waste of your time. Deep inside, you think it is the hospital that has answers to all his questions. After leaving the police station, you make your way to the hospital, thinking, maybe there's another way inside the locked room on the 4th floor. We help the man down the stairs. We roll down together, -3 stamina. You walk through the door labeled Authorized Personnel Only and look around the corridor. Nobody's here. With a little bit of luck, you should be able to reach the 4th floor without the staff finding you. I think I'll search the cabinet. I mean, if we pull the cloth off, it's 50-50. We get plus reason or we lose like 3 reason. I think I'd rather lose stamina. Ooh, got a sewing kit. You end up where you were last time, in the small office where you found the nurse's corpse. This time, however, you managed to find the keys to the rooms on this floor. You grab them and make your way to the nursery. After unlocking the room, you gently open the door. You enter the room and look inside the crib. The newborn is staring at you, not with eyes but 2 grape-sized black holes. It grins, showing its fleshy, toothless mouth. I have feasted well. It speaks in a coarse voice that makes you shiver. You're lucky I'm full. I think I'll spare you. Suddenly you realize that this grotesque being is rapidly deforming. No, not deforming. It's regressing into earlier stages of development. Its hands are shrinking, its body growing smaller and less defined. Only the large head and those black eyes remain constant. I'll be back for you, though. You smell so tasty. Suddenly, the shriveled body explodes with a disgustingly wet pop, spraying the inside of the crib with a combination of dark blood and brown pus. Recoil in disgust when the sickening smell of rotting fruit hits your nostrils. Shaking, you hastily leave the room and sneak out of the hospital, making sure to avoid the staff, as you don't think anyone would believe the story about a talking, flesh-eating newborn that exploded into a gory mess. Returning home, you can't help but remember the child's last words, especially about the fact that finds you tasty. Got Blood Moon. That is also a terrible town status to get. Guess I'll do the... We did the cicadas a bunch. I feel like the bathhouse will kick our ass, though. Maybe I'll do the Rider one now. Then we could do found footage next. Or maybe we should do found footage now and the Rider one next, so that Roads Closed doesn't get us. I think I'll do that. So let's see, what did we get now? Panic, minus 10% chance to all combat actions. And Hunger, I think. I honestly think we need to get rid of Panic, because Panic is just terrible. 3 students disappeared in the process of making a documentary about local folklore and legends of the nearby forest. Now, on the first anniversary of the event, a suspicious man has started asking questions. He claims to be a private investigator hired by the parents of the students. Except the parents of your friends didn't hire him. Who is he, and what did the students discover out there? Maybe you'll find a clue about their last known whereabouts in the school newspaper. I think the stats makes the most sense for me. The, reason regaining. The notes mention a village not far from your town. You decide to take a bus. Getting closer, you can't help but notice a large number of trees that have suddenly died. What's happened here? Before we do the last event, we're going to need to visit the mansion. How are we doing on Doom? Terribly on Doom. Run in Terror, I think, is just reason loss. Guess I'll confront the stranger. Is there more? I'll take the Doom. Now I need to investigate the mansion. I think it does actually make this mystery quicker. I might be willing to gamble with 8 knowledge for some XP. Plus 10 XP, that's what I'm talking about. I'll take the extra XP once more. Up to 88. I guess I'll put the police in the village. Are we fighting Athulashith? We are. Alright. I think I'll keep the broken jaw for now. I was thinking about maybe getting rid of it. Got prayer beads. I was thinking about getting rid of it so we could have a Thotu Flame in our back pocket. What does prayer beads do? Faster spiritual actions. That's fantastic. It even shows up around the neck. That's pretty good. I thought it was going to be like a little arm bead. decipher the runes, and fail to do so. If we reveal ourselves, there's a chance that we get a flashlight. I think it's worth the chance. Plus item, that is what I'm talking about. Actually fantastic. We don't have to worry about the ear slurp slurp. I'll tap into the power as well. Plus 2% doom. Should not have done that. Find our way out. Plus 10 experience points. Can't help but notice we did not get the perk we wanted to get. Well, I'll just level my knowledge twice so that we have 10 of it. That should be good enough to destroy enemies. So we can't do 2 full sends. Could do 1 strong send, but the problem is 7 times 3 is 21. Could take a gamble, 75% chance. I think that's probably worth. If we were to do this sequence, at best we kill it next turn anyways, so I think prep strong attack makes sense. Maybe we could try dodging and strong attacking. No, it could only normal attack. Alright, we'll take a little bit more doom. It's pretty terrible, but it is what it is. Could listen to the rambling. We're not gonna lose by 1. Never mind. Not enough space. Okay. Got 11 XP. Probably not worth it, but we couldn't run away either, so. We have even more enemies? Are you serious? It's doing 1 all damage. We could try dodging. I think just attacking makes more sense unless we can prep attack. We cannot, so it'd be a 90% chance to hit. In that case, I think it definitely makes more sense to do this. Apparently it's weak to slashing. Thank you for the reminder, Elianli. Ugh. Kanoko Gatherer. Has 14 HP. You can do 6 damage to it and then try to kill it next turn. I think dodging makes the most sense. Might be able to eke out. Hell yes. Easy peasy. It's a little unfortunate that we're getting such a ginormous forest this time. The rumored witch's house seems empty. In the basement, however, you find a camera pointed at the large hole in the ground. On the table next to the camera, you see 3 cassettes, each titled after one of the missing friends. Then you hear a curious sound coming from the hole. You kneel down and lean forward to see what's inside the hole. It takes a while to process what you're looking at. It's a gigantic eye staring right at you. Hypnotized, you continue to lean in, feeling weaker and weaker as the gargantuan beast lures you in. At the very last moment, the suspicious tall man grabs you by the collar. He explains he is part of a cult protecting the house and the mysterious entity below it. "You've got a bigger purpose than to die here," he says before knocking you out. You wake up a few hours later on a bus heading back to your town. So our doom went up by 6, but down by 3. Fetid fumes is pretty bad, but also don't really want to be resting with this much doom. I think I'll do the wannabe rider one first. We got 2 more curses. Let's see. I think we got 2 traumatized and panic again. To be honest, I kind of want to tank the panic just so that we can maybe get a little bit more minus doom. Even though it's such a terrible curse. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, this is 9. Because broken jaw is an injury, it's not a curse. So we can get rid of it without fucking up our thing. There we go. Wonderful works of a wannabe writer. Fukuyo-san was always known by Shiokawans as a third-rate writer of low-quality detective mysteries. Thus, it was a surprise when he was suddenly hailed as a literary genius. His newest series of novels is praised by critics and readers alike, and the books have earned him massive profits. In Shiokawa, however, recent events have turned a dark page. 4 inexplicable murders have taken place in the recent weeks. The occupations of the 4 victims and locations of the murders all mirror the endings of Fukuyo-san's newest stories. However, the police have found no evidence to support a connection between the murders and the writer himself. Who is the murderer, and what is their motives? The murders are so similar to Fukuyo-san's novels that it seems implausible that he's involved in some way. Perhaps his old neighbors know something about this. Now that Fukuyo-san has become rich and moved out, you're certain the folks from his old apartment block will be willing to gossip about the man. Spend the night here, plus 1 reason. Several of Fukuyo-san's old neighbors mentioned that he became famous after he returned from his latest forest trip a few months ago. You decide to pay him a visit and interview him. Even if he isn't involved in the murders, you might learn something he didn't tell the police. His new house is in a splendid villa by the seaside, the other side of town. The writer, Fukuyo-san, eagerly welcomes whom he perceives to be a great fan of his. He regales you with the tale about how his writer's block was overcame with sudden bouts of inspiration while he was hiking in the woods. You, on the other hand, can't take your eyes off of this beautiful blue quill at his desk. Charisma check success. Fukuyo-san glares at you. It's just a quill, my child. Adds a bit of flair to my persona, no? It's obvious that his attitude towards you has changed, though. Just a few moments later, he makes an excuse and tells you to leave. It's obvious that Fukuyo-san is very possessive of the blue quill, but you don't recall any bluebirds living around Shiokawa. You wonder where he got it from. Perhaps you could find some information at the local library. Oh no. It's the forgotten specimen. We can't get 2 swings, unfortunately. Could do 7 damage, but it has 18 HP, so 7 plus 7 is 14. It's not the greatest. Could get a 80% chance to hit it. If we do, then maybe we kill it next turn by throwing something. I think that's probably worth it. Everything in the classroom starts to wave. Hold up. Could I have killed it? Let's say we do 7 damage now. It goes down to 6 HP. I think we just have to take the gamble on the 80% chance. It's sucky, but it is what it is. We're unlikely-ish to miss 2 80% chances in a row. The local bird glossary has no bluebirds in it, but a footnote mentions a legend of a magical, wish-granting blue-feathered phoenix. The school's cult club ought to have a book on magical creatures. You hope that the club's president will be willing to help you. Enter the kitchen. Look for first aid kit, plus 2 stamina. Fantastic. You don't learn much from the book about magical creatures, but to your surprise, you learn that it was written by the local cult shop owner. This might lead you on a wild goose chase, but could she have more information about the mysterious blue phoenix? Oh no, we've got Vampire Princess. Apparently vampires are also not undead, according to the Bonesaw. Which is not the greatest. Getting an awful lot of combat here. I was kind of hoping to save the book for next mystery. It's kind of a mistake, I guess. I mean, there's no way we could have known. If we hit her with these attacks, which we're guaranteed to do so, then we kill her next turn. Don't think there's a way to eke out a better thing unless we, I don't know, risk a strong attack. But even if we risk a strong attack, she goes down to 13. So that wouldn't really help us. You saw through the Vampire Princess. She sucks my blood. I saw through her again. One for each limb. Can we get Blood Mania? We can get Blood Mania. Very good. Very fantastic. I'll level my strength. And I'm just going to rely on the curses from next mystery to bump all our stats to 8. Wish planting. Granting Blue Phoenix, she laughs from behind the mask. Fukuyo-san bought a book of black magic from me. That is the source of his quill's power. When the woman mentions spells and rituals utilizing human souls, a shiver runs down your spine. You rush towards Fukuyo-san's home. He must be stopped. Got Burning Man. That's not the greatest. We can only get 2 severs. I think this is because of the Bonesaw. No, this is even with all the shit combined. The Bonesaw and Blood Mania. We could do 12 damage with the Offering. We could literally double Offering and kill the dude. It would leave us vulnerable to Jarman. However, maybe we brace and sever? We can't brace and sever. Can we dodge and sever? We could Offering, dodge, sever. I mean, if we Offering, we can do 10 damage with severing. So yeah, we have to. Okay. Please RNG. No. Unfortunate. Whatever. We sever him twice. Boom. Bye-bye, Burning Man. When you buzz the intercom, there's no response. You try the main gate, and to your surprise, it is unlocked. You cautiously step inside the villa, an eerie silence filling the empty halls. Where is Fukuyo-san? Corpses, marionettes, -2 reason. When you confront Fukuyo-san in the study, he becomes delusional. No, I can't stop now. I have to write more novels, and my greatest work is still unfinished too. I understand why you're doing this, but no, I cannot stop. Not yet, not yet. You've had enough of this. When Fukuyo-san isn't looking, you grab the blue quill, break it in half, and throw it into the fireplace. The writer suddenly lets out a horrible shriek, as his spine audibly snaps and his body falls backwards. Before it even touches the floor, bright flames engulf it. In the fireplace, the beautiful blue quill shrivels and turns into ash. You watch as the body of the wicked writer slowly does the same, his pain screams quickly ceasing. The smell of thick smoke is what snaps you out of the mindless staring. Covering your mouth and nose as to not inhale the fumes, you flee the villa as the flames begin to spread. We lost 4% Doom from the Doom effigy. That is fantastic. From the back of a crowd of onlookers, you silently watch the firefighters trying to contain the fire. Remembering the shop lady's words and what had happened to Fukuyo-san, you suddenly realize whose soul he used to cast a spell on the quill. His own. With his death and the blue quill destroyed, one thing's for sure. No one else will have to die to boost Fukuyo-san's fame. Cut off from the outside world. That's a not horrible town event, which is nice. Have one more mystery to go. Guess I'll do the creepy cicadas. I mean, we could probably body the bathhouse monster, but let's see, we've got Mind Wipe, which I think we're just going to have to be stuck with, and Survivor's Guilt. Survivor's Guilt, I think I'm going to get rid of... Oh, it lowered our stats. Shouldn't have done it, but that's 2% Doom. We might actually unironically lose to the Doom. Iconic chirping of the creepy cicadas. Cicadas have emerged early this year, and in much larger numbers than usual. Their chirping is absolutely deafening. And what's worse, they exhibit the most impossible behavior. They behave like humans. They take bus rides, they visit shops in the school and the hospital, they meet at the playgrounds and at the bars, loudly chirping together. Some people try to get rid of them, some are thrilled, others terrified. Why did the cicadas suddenly start behaving like this? Is this the influence of some evil monstrosity, or... One of the cicadas has just went down the stairs and out of your apartment building. It's headed downtown. Could it lead you to the explanation behind these recent events? I think I will buy something. I'll get rid of the corpse dust. We get plus pancakes. Pancakes is plus 2 stamina, minus 2% doom, which is fantastic. Might as well pop the novel now. We could sell the novel, just to avoid Jarman. We should be so ridiculously goated combat-wise at this point that it kind of makes sense that we would do it. I don't think this mystery has a boss. Do we have anything in storage we can sell? Could sell the sewing kit, I guess. Might need the stamina, though. But we do have a lump of flesh. Hold up, we have a lump of flesh. Why don't we just use the lump of flesh? It'll give us a curse. Got bloated. I think bloated is minus reason at the end of each mystery. It's also an injury as well, which is super not great. I was kind of hoping for a curse. Even the Hole's curse wouldn't have been too terrible. I guess I'll sell the novel. It's plus 2 funds and we can get rid of the bloated, because the bloated is actually going to mess our day up. It is a little bit of extra doom, which is not the greatest, but we get some painkillers at least. Badly bruised. I'm going to leave the broken jaw. You peek from around the corner as the cicada you've been following meets up with 2 others. What are they doing? The cicadas chirp one after another, clearly having some sort of conversation. The meeting ends after a while. The other cicadas disappear into the nearby alleys while your cicada continues its run. Where's it going now? You decide to follow the cicada from earlier. It is making a beeline towards the high school. A while later, you notice other cicadas going in the same direction. Wait a second. I think I know why we always win with so much doom with the pocket mysteries. I'm pretty sure we didn't gain any doom from the investigation that has a locked-in event. So that must be what is happening. You stop in front of the local high school. This late in the afternoon, it's closed, but this doesn't stop a cloud of cicadas from crossing the gate back and forth. You observe them for a while and finally realize what they're doing. Stealing. Every so often, cicada leaves the school, grounds, carrying a small item on its back. A ruler, a piece of plywood, a plastic cap. Human-like behavior, secretive group meetings, theft of items from the school. Are these cicadas intelligent? What sort of sinister deed are those insects planning? The one you've been following has just boarded a bus. You can't let it escape. Let's see, we're at 80% doom. Yeah, and we continue to be at 80% doom. When you board the bus, you freeze. Almost every seat is occupied by a cicada or two or more. Terrified, you look at the driver as he closes the door. Look, they've been doing this for the past few days. I've already stopped questioning it. I just want to do my job, you know. So please sit down and, enjoy the trip. Ugh. You sit down near the front door where there's no cicadas. Sometimes you turn to look at them, only to see them staring back or chirping secretively with each other. You're sure they're onto you. When you leave the bus after the cicadas, you realize they're nowhere to be seen. How could they all run away so quickly? Someone in the village must have seen them, right? I think I'll rest once, which is pretty horrible. Oh, we're gonna have to rest twice, just to avoid the instant death threshold. This is so fucked up. Okay, I'm definitely gonna question my sanity. We got... What did we get? Insomnia. That is so fucking horrible. What the fuck? And some of our stats leveled up. I think I want to get rid of the insomnia. Sorry, we can't have that. Was hoping for a non-shitty curse. It is what it is. I'm gonna visit the monuments, try to see if I can get a little extra doom removal. It's -2 funds. I'll get rid of the painkillers. Boom. Visit the monument once more. -4 stamina. I think that's probably worth. There we go. We're at manageable doom levels now. It's a bad time to be out of cash. That's pretty fucked up. I guess I'll get jarred. Going deeper into the forest, you hear chirping that grows louder and louder with each step you take. Finally, you reach a large mound of dirt with dozens of cicadas scurrying about. The cicadas have built a miniature temple. You stare in disbelief as the cicadas gather around it. Their attention seems to be focused on the strange black idol in the center of their shrine. As they begin a rhythmic chant, the ground under you begins to shake. You run towards the tiny temple in an event to stop the ritual. Unsure of what to do, you reach under the roof of the shrine and touch the black idol. Suddenly, there's a bright light. The beam of the light erupting from the shattered idol disappears as abruptly as it appeared, and it takes a moment for your eyes to get accustomed to the normal sunlight again. After a while, you stand up and survey the damage. The temple is no more, burnt to cinders. The surroundings are littered with hundreds of charred, dead cicadas. You step closer to inspect the broken idol, only to find that it has disappeared. With nothing else to do, you leave the area, preparing for a long walk home. We lost 4% doom. The chanting cicadas never returned Shiokawa, and people are relieved that their deafening chirping is gone. If only they knew the truth. Got store closed, no big deal. If we wanted, we could get rid of the mind wipe curse to get a level up. What's our things looking like? Strength plugs. Ugh. Charisma girl, also not great. Knowledge, we succeed, so that's -3 reason, -3 stamina. Second enemy, dex check, -6 stamina, and we've got the ear slurpy slurp preventer. Maybe we do need the level up. Mind wipe gives us -3 reason on discard though, so we'd have to rest 3 times. just to compensate. I mean, we're gonna have to rest 3 times either way, I think. Do we have anything in storage? We do, we have a sewing kit. Actually, we won't need to rest 3 times. So, if we use the sewing kit right now, because we're not going to have enough charisma, we're at 7 stamina. We lose 6 stamina from the events. We do have to worry about suicidal cucking us, because it's 50% chance whenever we lose reason that we lose stamina. So maybe we rest once, because we're only going to lose reason once. So no matter what, it can't screw us that way. We have knowledge to spare, so we don't die to the knowledge rods. And only Doom can kill us if we fail our checks. I'm going to rest once. There we go. And we should be good. Off to the races. We disconnect the faulty plug. -3 stamina. Stop by the girl, try to reason with her, -3 reason. Knowledge rods, +10 XP. Second enemy was the magician glitched. Thank you, Elyanli, for the reminder. The dark clouds swirl around the lighthouse. Did you arrive too late? Easy peasy. As the unnatural fog slowly lifts, you are relieved and collapse on the floor. The next day, everything feels like a bad dream. You manage to stop the ritual awakening the eldritch old god. What's done is done. It will stir in its slumber again and again until the stars are right again. Congratulations, you are safe for now. Indeed. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Wasn't even close to losing. Let me double check, see how many mysteries we haven't seen yet. So I'm curious. Oh man, I don't have quick access, so I'll have to get manage, browse local files. So, oh no, all the things are just like shortened. So bits, brie, blow, have no idea what that is. Cacophonous chirping, done that one. Diary, we've done that one. Fatal Fiction Fetus, we've done that one. Horrible Hunger Hobo, done that one. I think we might have done them all, actually. No, we haven't done the log one. That's the one we're missing. Okay. Good to know. I like this deep blue one. I think I'm gonna go for that one. My main, we re-roll some stuff. But that's fine if that happens. Got Mimi. We've got all skill checks automatically fail. Which is pretty horrible. Assuming that we get the languishing, the magical log mystery. If not, we're re-rolling anyways. Let's see, Bloom, Hobo, Bathhouse, Languishing Log of a Leeching Loom. Okay. Oh, looks like we're doing it after all. Anatomy class is okay. Could get folklore studies or dexterity, alternatively. Dexterity works with her events, but we're going to automatically fail events. So it'd be folklore studies or anatomy class. We already have such high knowledge that I think anatomy class will be fine. Get the scalpel. Equip it. That's funny. The little pictures disappear when there's something on screen. Wonder why that happens. I guess we could start with the loom. Though I'm a little paranoid that there's gonna be like a tough combat. Maybe we'll do the loom second. No, I'll do it first. Languishing log of a leeching loom. Shiokawa has become the center of a minor fashion craze, thanks to a talented seamstress. Meanwhile, strange disappearances plague the town since last week. This includes Yamato-san, your neighbor. He disappeared yesterday, but because the police is swamped with similar cases, your neighbor is asking you to help find her husband. He is known for frequenting several ramen shops downtown after a day's work. Maybe he overstayed his welcome at one of them. I forgot to take the XP bath and the money. I was so mind flooded. I think I'll get the anatomy book. Don't think it's that bad. Is there any high threat level zones? Guess I'll put the police station on the hospital. Just preemptively. Amazing, we avoided Yogati egg. Spend the night here, -2 stamina. Yamato-san. Big wallet, Yamato-san, with the pencil mustache. It was here yesterday. Strangely, he didn't drink anything and looked as if he was in a hurry. I think he said that he was going on a trip to another city or something like that. He left the town and didn't tell his family anything. Maybe someone at the bus station saw him. Standing near this young couple, you're startled when they start to argue. You hear something about some seamstress's clothes and spending too much money. Yeah, if we eavesdrop, it's going to be a perception check. We're ill-fated, we're automatically going to fail. So I'm just going to keep to myself. You have better things to do than to get involved in other people's quarrels. At the bus station, you learn that Yamato-san was asking about the seamstress. And he wasn't the only one to do that recently, as several other married men have also asked about her and have disappeared soon afterwards. You should return to Yamato-san's wife with this new information. Find an envelope with cashola. Thanks for the funds. The seamstress, Yamato's wife, suddenly becomes very aggressive. I told him I wouldn't buy any more clothes from her. Does he think I'm a liar? Is that his reason to abandon me? After calming your neighbor down, you get the mysterious seamstress's address. Her shop is located in a nearby village. It's time to catch a bus. In the morning, there's a duder. I think I will confront the man. I know it's minus reason, but I can always use the anatomy book to even out stamina. When you mention the seamstress, the village women are very happy to help you out. Man or woman, big or small, she can weave fashionable clothes for everyone. Go check them out yourself. You won't regret it. With wide, manic smiles, they point you towards her workshop. Got the egg is getting pissed off. The shop is full of young and old women. They're all gushing over the quality and design of the clothes displayed on the shelves, while an old lady sits behind the counter with a toothy grin. You step closer to check the price tags and shudder. There's way too many zeros on those tags. You manage to find a section with much cheaper items. I think I will. Wait, what does the festive coat do? It's like +1 luck, right? That doesn't really do anything for us, and the black hooded robe is just an additional spell slot. I'm just gonna look around. Hope it's not Doom. Plus 5 XP, minus 2 reason. You focus on what's important and look around the shop. You soon realize that besides the lovely scent of perfume lingering in the air, there's a strange odor coming from the seamstress herself. She smells like ammonia and rotting meat. Who the hell is she? Something's definitely not right about this seamstress in her shop. You wonder if some of the villagers might be willing to gossip about her. Definitely gonna anatomy book once and rest. I'm gonna do it again. Trying to avoid the Yogati egg. And we need extra reason anyways. Fantastic. We saved ourselves 2% Doom by getting 6% Doom. I'll scavenge the room. Just lose the stamina as opposed to getting the illness. Ugh. She gives me the creeps, one of the younger boys says. I heard that she spent all her life working at the rice paddies, but after her husband died, she suddenly became the super talented seamstress. Would you believe that? And what's worse, my mom can't stop babbling about her every chance she gets. Uh-oh, we've found the Human Torch. It's doing 2 all damage. We can do 5 damage with the scalpel each time, so we could kill him next turn. Don't think we can brace or dodge. It's probably worth losing the all. This is our first enemy, I believe, so we can just sever it. Plus 14 XP. You'll learn some more information about the seamstress. She only works at night with an old loom that she found in the ruined manor by the river, in which she had moved to her house right before her husband died. As the sun sets behind the horizon, you creep towards her workshop. The lights are on and the door is unlocked. Entering quietly through the open door, you hear clattering sounds of the old loom at work. You walk down the stairs into the basement and find the macabre seamstress working on her newest masterpiece. The loom clunks and clatters while the cloth is being drawn from the bathtub. 2 bloody pink intestines, slick with blood and bodily fluids, and still connected to the corpse inside. This is the source of the exquisite fabrics popular amongst the women of Shiokawa. Human flesh, spun and weaved into high-quality silk through the eldritch power of the cursed loom. You gasp audibly when you recognize the face of the corpse in the bathtub. It's Yamato-san. Your neighbor's intestines are being used to create another set of clothes. You turn to look at the loom again and notice that the seamstress is staring right at you. Before the old lady can even stand up, you run upstairs and out of the manor. You stop only when you reach the local police station, telling cops about what you've just seen. 1 hour later, 24 policemen are busy turning the old house upside down. They find the butchered corpses of every man who has gone missing in the past few weeks. The next day, you watch the TV report about the macabre loom and the police's investigation and shiver when you hear that the seamstress has escaped the police. She's out there, and she knows your face. Time skip, even more Doom. No big deal. It's not the greatest, but you know. Guess I'll get Fast Learner. I remember not being super impressed with it, but this is our first level up, so that's fine. I guess I'll get some strength so we can brace easier. So second mystery, second enemy, Dex, Takashi strength VR. Okay. Boom. We apparently had library notes this whole time. Definitely don't want to use them though. Don't have an empty bottle. I'll get a little extra reason. And I'll get the money. actual nurse? When did they add this? That's funny. Yeah, I'll do the nurse outfit. Why not? Let's see, we have 4 mysteries remaining. That's timeline B. Wait, are we randomly in timeline B? I did hit the randomize button. I didn't realize that that could randomize the timeline too. For the second mystery, I guess I'll do the bloom. The bitter breviary of a beautiful bloom. Achoo! You glance at the salaryman passing you by as he adjusts his face mask. That's yet another person suffering from the seasonal allergies you've seen today. It wouldn't bother you if not for the fact that people with allergies have started abruptly and randomly disappearing from the city. Each day you find a new missing persons poster or hear radio reports about this guy or that girl disappearing. And the only thing that connects the missing persons is their allergy to pollen. Who, or what, is behind these strange disappearances? Very good. So, Gigolo's our second enemy. It's doing 3 reason damage, which is not the greatest. Now we can get 2 attacks for 8 damage. He'd go down to not 8, so we'd have to take 6 reason damage from him if we wanted to fight him that way. If we brace, we have an 85% chance to hit, so we can get a guaranteed 4. I think this is fine. We'll probably successfully defeat him without... I'm guessing we can lose like 3 or 4 reason, which is more acceptable. So let's see, we're at 10 XP. We take 1 reason damage and we gain 1 XP. Is it a randomized amount? No, it's just 1 XP. Has 13 HP. I'll go once more. He has 9 HP. And we kill him. Very good. Lost 3 reason. A very good fight for us. You have a lead. A member of the local high school track and field team has recently disappeared. She was suffering from allergies and disappeared during a jog, the outskirts of the city. Maybe her friends know something else about her disappearance. Thank you for the reminder, Elian. Pool is empty. I'll turn on the lights. Plus 1 reason. Fantastic. You'll learn another person who's gone missing. A student teacher who moved recently to Shiokawa disappeared after taking the night bus outside the city. He lived in a small house by the sea with his aunt, a retired naturalist. And she apparently disappeared as well the next day. Walking down the seaside, you realize there's a large cloud of pollen moving towards you. Auto failure, minus 1 reason. You return to your apartment only to learn that one of your neighbors has gone missing. You should ask some questions around before you go looking for him around the town. Come across a dark basement. Power through is injury. Nope is minus reason, I think. I think I'd rather get the injury. Cut arm sinew is pretty god-awful, but it is what it is. We get the surgery, we get badly bruised. In retrospect, maybe we should have taken the injury. Saw observer, minus 2 stamina. Asking around the bus station, you learn that Mr. OOO was seen boarding the bus line that goes through the nearby forest. Then it dawns on you. Everyone whom you've investigated so far has connections with nature and the local forest. You roam the forest for quite a while. The dreadful silence of it unnerves you. There's no birds singing, no insects buzzing. The air is full of pollen, and what's worse, you've started picking up a faint scent of blood. Dozens of human bodies litter the flower glade. The sight of pretty flowers growing amongst the corpses is rather out of place. The sweet scent of flower nectar mixing with the sweet scent of rotting flesh. Then you hear it, buzzing coming from inside the corpses. You see their abdomens inflate, bulge, and finally pop, spraying the surroundings with gore. Large dragonflies slowly crawl out of the holes, their wings and thoraxes covered in blood. One by one they take into the air, buzzing aloud and swirling like a cloud in the air. That's when you realize there's several of them behind you. You've been surrounded by the giant dragonflies, a multitude of eyes all staring at you with curiosity. Just when you think it's over, the dragonflies will make you their first dinner, or even worse, their next host. They fly up and towards the sunset. A minute or so later, the buzzing is too far for you to hear it. You're alone, surrounded by pretty flowers and broken bodies. The pollen must have carried the dragonfly eggs to receptive human hosts, you tell yourself. This is a ridiculous idea, and yet you cannot come up with a more plausible explanation. Even after the disappearances abruptly stop, you cannot shake off the feeling that this is not the last time you've seen those dragonflies around. Winds of Plague. Fantastic. Can still take the Bathola, get a little extra reason. Have 3 mysteries remaining. I think I'll do the hobo next. I'm curious what happens when you fail the strength check, and we're doomed to fail it. The horrendous hunger of a hateful hobo. Another body was found in the old metro tunnel. Another half-eaten body chewed straight through. The tunnel in question was abandoned after the latest seawater flooding. The company maintaining the metro network relocated the line above ground years ago. Since then, it has become an infrequent home of a few homeless people, including one man now in the center of the story. The police suspects that this homeless man has lost his mind, becoming cannibal, and started killing and eating random passerbys. But there's no proof supporting this theory as of yet. Could one homeless man truly be a cannibalistic criminal mastermind? Or is the real story behind the recent murders much more sinister? The police have found another partially eaten body near the abandoned metro tunnel. A crowd of the onlookers has already gathered at the crime scene. You cannot make your way to the front of the crowd and have to satisfy yourself with the glimpses of the policemen. Quite a few people around you are exchanging information about the gruesome murder, though. Perhaps someone knows something interesting. Did you hear the story about something at the hospital making lunch out of the nurses? No way, that's freaky. But get this, I heard that some kid's tongue got super long and prehensile and everything. Oh my heavens, we should totally write a novel about this, right? Oh my god, this is just a reference to all the friggin' other mysteries. I didn't even realize that the first time I read that. It's the same story as before. Someone was passing by the tunnel and found a corpse near the entrance, riddled with bite marks all over it. You wonder if someone perhaps knows more about the homeless man himself. He's got to at least have a name or something, right? We could maybe buy a flashlight in preparation for the event. I think that maybe makes sense. Because we're going to fail and get an injury anyways, which is going to cost us funds to fix. The question is, what do we sell? Could sell the library notes for sure. The flashlights can cost 3. Could sell the handcuffs to avoid the injury. But handcuffs are super useful. I guess the only other option is the painkiller, or we get a curse. There's plenty of not bad curses. I'm gonna get a curse. Hunger, no big deal. Now we can go to the hardware shop. We did get a flashlight. I'll sell the library notes now so that we don't get Jarmianed. There we go. It's a little bit awkward. We are down to 3 reason, just not the greatest. Luckily we avoided Gilgathi egg, so got a cheap rest. Plus 2% doom. An old metro tunnel and the local school, could they truly be connected? And does something truly monstrous travel from here to there through the sewer pipes? But that doesn't explain why the homeless man is present around the crime scene every time. Enter the bathroom. So closing the door is -3 reason. I think maybe even -4. The nurse might eat her patients, lol. It's true. It's a free source of protein. I think we escape. It's -2 reason. It's absolutely not the greatest, but it is what it is. Guided by the words of an old man living nearby, you easily and quickly reach the entrance to the sewers located far from Shiokawa's beaches. The gate is easily opened, but then you realize how dark it is out inside. You wonder if it's a good idea after all. With how dark it is inside, one bad step could send you plummeting into the sewage below, or something even worse. Using the flashlight to navigate your way through the sewer makes the trip quick and easy. You push the manhole covering and climb out of the sewers. You've emerged just across the street from the entrance to the old metro tunnel. Wait, you could swear something is watching you from within the tunnel. Could it be the homeless man? Just gonna rest one more time. Because we already rest once. You squint, trying to adjust your eyesight to the dimly lit metro tunnel as you step inside it. You stop in your tracks when you spot the homeless man with a large worm attached to his head. Is it trying to suck his brains out? Strength check failure. You grab onto the disgusting worm and start pulling. The screams of the man and the screeching of the worm work in tandem to drive you crazy. You have to endure them for a few long moments before you manage to pry the strange creature off the man's head and toss it to the ground. You turn around when you hear a sudden scream. The homeless man is staring wide-eyed at the eldritch being you've destroyed, and then, screaming, runs deeper into the tunnel. Okay, so it's basically just the same event, but minus no XP if you fail the strength check. You're shouting that you won't hurt him have no effect, and that's the last you see of him. Exasperated, tired, and quite smelly, you turn around and leave the tunnel. It's about time you've had a shower. When you return home, an exasperated neighbor tells you that the police have cordoned off the old metro tunnel. You shudder when you hear there was no mention of the corpse or the mind-controlling worm. The corpse of the mind-controlling worm. Did the police choose not to reveal its existence, or got roads closed and a level up? I think quick thinking would be worth getting after all because it gives some auto success events, which I think will be nice. And I'll get a little extra knowledge because we're going to be fighting some enemies this run. Very probably. Get the anatomy book. Boom. Take the Bathola. Regain some extra reason. Very good. Guess I'll get the Fatal Fiction of the Fiendish Fetus next, so we can do the Shadowy Silhouettes last. Makes sense to me. I'm gonna skip through this one more because we already went through this mystery twice this run. Uh-oh. It's the Forgotten Specimen. Coming to steal our reason. So we could do 12 damage to it if we wanted to lose 3 reason, which is a metric shit ton. We could do 4 damage to it, guaranteed. It's probably worthwhile. Man, the friggin' the fast learner perk is so dog shit. What the hell? We're literally just getting 1 XP every time we get damaged. That's 10 damage. Boom. Forgotten Specimen destroyed. Chicken Nugget acquired. Guess I'll set the trash can on fire for the guaranteed success. Will that reset the threat level? No. Boom. Oh no! Anomaly Tenant Corpse Caregiver. That's terrible. Apparently they're human though, so we could handcuff them. But even if we did... that's super not great. We probably should just flee these guys. There's no, like, good sequence for us. Not unless we want to tank, like, a incredibly huge attack. I mean, maybe we could brace, prep, attack. We bring this person down to 15, and then we get a 3-hit sequence. Using the handcuffs, we kill the first one, and then we kill the second one. We get a knife. Okay. It's a little bit risky, but... it's 3 guaranteed attacks. I'm so dumb. I was too slow. Oh my god. I had to hit it before the other one. It's a good thing we didn't lose. I guess the Chilling Stare only did 3 damage to us. Whoops. That's pretty awkward. Just gonna rest up. Let's see, fleeing is -1 reason. You run downstairs and alert the personnel about what happened. You go back downtown. Plus 2% doom. I think Fast Learner was nerfed. On one forum it said you get per hit 3 to 4 XP. That might be the case. It could also be that it's just how much XP you get is connected to how much damage. So it could be that if we were taking 2 damage, maybe we would be getting 3 XP. Potentially. Okay, it's not a good idea. Minus 2% doom. That's fantastic. Please no elevator. Minus 2 doom, minus 2 stamina is actually amazing for us. Boom. I feasted well, it speaks in a coarse voice that makes you shiver. Possible, only one way to find out. That's true. Well, we are certainly going to take more than 1 damage at some point. You're lucky that I'm full. I think I'll spare you. Suddenly you realize the grotesque being is rapidly deforming. No, not deforming. It's regressing into earlier stages of development. Its hands are shrinking, its body smaller and less defined. Only the large head and those black eyes remain consistent. Constant, even. I'll be back for you, though. You smell so tasty. It explodes. Shaking, you hastily leave the room and sneak out of the hospital, making sure to avoid the staff, as you don't think that anyone would believe a story about a talking, flesh-eating newborn that exploded into a gory mess. Returning home, you can't help but remember the child's last words, especially about the fact that it finds you tasty. I mean, the feeling is probably mutual, because we have the hunger curse. First aid is a fantastic level up for us, and I'll get some strength. Take the Bathola, regain a little extra reason. We're doing pretty good on stats. We're on our last mystery, which is the shadowy silhouettes. There it is again. Another of those creepy shadowy beings looking at you from the nearby alley. When you approach one, they flee. When you run away, they keep staring until you lose them in the crowd. It's the 4th time you've seen one of them in the past 3 days, but when you ask around, no one else sees them. Are you losing your mind, or is there something really weird happening? You hate the creepy stare of those 2 tiny eyes shaped like pinheads. You shake their gaze off and start to move. As always, you can simply lose them in the crowd. I'll take the nap. It's plus 2% doom, but we can't fail that event. To your horror, the shadowy being has started following you this time. It is slowly creeping through the crowd, its piercing gaze locked on you. You need to get out of this town. Some of your family lives in a nearby village. You'll need to call them and ask for help. If we perform the surgery, we're just going to get extra doom, I think, so I'm going to amputate the limb. No, the limb gives the doom, but it gives reason. Did we actually get the doom? We did get the doom. Okay. During the phone call, your cousin is obviously put off by your sudden request, but is accommodating enough to let you stay for a little while at least. But to get to her home, you need to catch a bus that stops by her village, and for that you need to reach the bus station and is located a few intersections away. Very good. Alright, he's doing 4 stamina damage. For science, I will tank the stamina damage. So we're at 12 XP. We got a 4 XP. So it is indeed just a 1-to-1 ratio. That's good to know. Plus 2 reason. Amazing. You board the bus and sit down in the street near the door. In the seat near the door, you breathe a sigh of relief, not finding any of them amongst your fellow passengers. In about half an hour, you should be at your cousin's place. I would say high risk, low reward. 4 XP is not worth jack all, for sure. You arrive safely in the village, but when the bus drives away, you notice something. Who's that? You freeze when you realize one of them is staring at you from the back of the bus. Were they inside with you the whole time? Fast Learner is probably not worth even slightly to farm, unless you just have like an infinite amount of stats, I would say. Probably gonna get like, maybe, if I'm being very generous, like 20 XP in total from the perk this entire playthrough, and deduction gives that in one single mystery. Very not good. When your cousin opens the door, you freeze in terror. You ignore her cheerful smile and hand raised in a greeting. They are standing right behind her. You scream in horror, startling your cousin. You run away as fast as you can. Before you even realize it, you're sprinting down the road towards the forest. Shiokawa lies on the other side, but you're not sure if you really want to go back. Unfortunately, you cannot stay in the forest forever. Night is approaching fast, and it's starting to get cold outside. So I'll continue to enrage You Got the Egg. The suspicious group you've been following is gathered in a nearby forest. They're enacting some sort of ritual and clearing up ahead. The only nearby vantage point is on a large rock. -2 stamina. The alleys, the buses, your cousin's village, your entire hometown, they are hiding everywhere, ready to accost you. You run across the streets, trying your hardest not to look at the black faces and creepy stares all around you. Home, you can only be safe at your home. I'm gonna stay here for a moment. And we fight them. They're in our house. They are not cool. We can brace and get Smack-Oli. We have a 100% chance to hit them, so we can actually get a large smack for 6. I think that's probably worth. Are we going to get 1 or 2 XP for all damage? Let's see. We're at 39. At 41. Okay, so it's just directly 1-to-1. The stats you lose, you get XP. I mean, I figured that was the case. They have 16 HP. Can we do 16 damage? We cannot. So I guess I'll do the same sequence once more. Get another 2 XP. Offer yourself to them. Get out of here, them. Get Slash-Oled. Plus 2 reason. You look around your apartments for a hiding place. The wardrobe should be large enough for you to fit in. You cram yourself inside and wait. Seconds turn into minutes, minutes turn into hours, but no one comes to harass you. The delicate smell of detergent lingers in here, but you're not bothered by it at all. Huddled against the wall, you don't even notice the moment you fall asleep. When you wake up, your body aches from the cramped areas you've slept in. Slowly you open the wardrobe's door and leave. The sun is shining happily through the windows, staring into your weary eyes. Cautiously, you approach the window in the kitchen and take a peek at the street below. There's some passerbys, the mailman, the elderly landlord, but you cannot see them anywhere. It's as if they've disappeared. You can only wonder if they're gone for good or not. For now, however, you're safe from their creepy stares. From that day onwards, whenever you see them and your apartment block is nearby, you know that you can return home and hide inside your wardrobe. One day, when it'll be too much for you, you think you'll hole yourself up there and never leave again. Okay, no time skip, please. Contaminated water. Oh, we couldn't even get time skip if we wanted. Contaminated water's a little bit shitty. But we have the chicken nugget and the painkiller, so we can't lose to stat loss, only to doom loss. Which we can super duper lose to doom loss. Do you have anything in storage? We do not. I'm just going to start climbing. Second mystery is the bloom. Thank you for the reminder, El Yanley. I guess I'll get folklore studies and some strength. Second enemy, Gigolo. Thank you for the reminder, El Yanley. Switch, -3 stamina. There's the Takashi-san. We can hit him for 20, but alternatively we could Desperate Struggle and hit him for 30. Goodbye, Takashi. Oh, wait, it was not 30, it was 28. I forgot we had an enemy class, but it's still fine. Get the strength plugs. I'll take the painkillers now. Even though we auto-success. The dark clouds swirl around the lighthouse. Did you arrive too late? Get this coral out of here. As the unnatural fog slowly lifts, you are relieved and collapse on the floor. The next day, everything feels like a bad dream. You manage to stop the ritual awakening, the Eldritch Old God. But what's done is done. It will stir in its slumber again and again until the stars are right again. Congratulations, you are safe for now. Very good. Fantastic. I think I'm going to call the stream here today. Woo indeed. I know it's very slightly early, but I again have things to do. I'll just say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream, those who watched the stream. Oh, thank you for watching, Black Monday. It's always fun to interact with you guys while I'm going through the World of Horror runs. Yeah. Oh, I should do the rest of the outro. I hope to see you guys next time for the next stream or the next video. Bye. Yeah, have a good night, Elianly. I just gotta awkwardly, silently. There we go.